takes 75 lemons to make. So a little bit goes a long ways. Each of these little bottles contain anywhere from, I'd say like, is it like 80 to 100 drops, Lara?
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 to 100 drops. So you're only gonna need a little bit. This kit should last you a long time, but this is just the beginning of your journey. There are other oils and products that you're probably gonna want from Young Living, knowing that they're sourced from a great place. Gary Young does not use herbicides or pesticides in growing his plants. He has full control of his farms and how things are run. They actually hire people to hand weed their farms. Once you're a Young Living member, you can go to the farms and visit and see firsthand for yourself. Lara and I were there in June, and we planted lavender plants, and we saw how they were distilling juniper, and it was so cool, you guys. It was like, the farm store is amazing. It's like a candy store. There's everything there. So let's get into the essential oils. I'm going to talk about half of these oils, and then I'm going to turn it over to Lara. Going back to using them topically, there are a few things you should know. Some of these bottles, I'm going to just take one and show you guys. For instance, I'll talk about lavender, but on the bottle, on the label, it will tell you if you need to dilute something or not. If you're ever questioning anything, I would dilute it, because it's not gonna be less effective when you dilute it. It's just gonna slow down the absorption onto your skin. So this is lavender. Lavender can be used neat or diluted, but then there are oils like peppermint that are a little bit hotter on the skin, and the bottle will tell you that you need to dilute it. So always read your labels. When you open your bottle, there is a little plastic thing on the top. It's called a drop reducer. What that's gonna do is make it so that the oil doesn't all pour out so fast. What I did learn later, probably a year after I started using the oils, was you shouldn't touch the tip of the bottle, because you may leave some of your skin cells on it, and it's okay if you've done that before, but it's best not to do it. And then also, the hole in the middle is the air vent. That's where the air is gonna help the oil come out of the tiny hole, which is this. There's a little tiny pin drop hole that you may not even be able to see with your eye. But if you're pouring an oil out and nothing's coming out, but you know there's oil in the bottle, you can rotate it a little bit, because the hole may be on the top. So those are things to know about the bottle and the label. And then you may be wondering why there's a white label and a colored label. The white labeled oils are the vitality oils. Those are made, it's specifically a label that has been approved by the FDA for ingestion. So this tells you can ingest this specific oil. Not very many companies have oils that are labeled for ingestion. Young Living thankfully does. The difference in this and a bottle of, I don't have the other peppermint with me, but let's just pretend this is a bottle of peppermint. Well, inside would be the same oil. They aren't, in the US, they're not allowed to label something for topical use and ingestion on the same label, if that makes sense. Okay, so getting into the oils. First, I'm gonna talk about Panaway. Panaway is a blend, and as the name kind of indicates, it's kind of like pain away. It contains wintergreen, I don't even know everything in it, wintergreen, clove, peppermint, and helichrysum. That I like to use. You should dilute it, because it has hot oils in it. And the reason why some of these oils are hot is because they will bring blood to the area. So you're gonna wanna dilute it unless you have really strong skin. I have to be honest, I don't dilute a lot of my oils because I'm lazy, but Lara's gonna tell us about that, because she gave a little talk the other night about how dilution is a good idea. So this is Panaway. It's good for pain. I like to use it when I've been on my computer a lot and I just have tension on the back of my neck. If you really have tension or sore muscles, you can layer that with peppermint, which will drive in the Panaway even more. It'll be even more effective. So that's Panaway. Then there's Raven. Raven is another blend. Oh, sorry. Raven is a blend that I would say is good for respiratory support. Sorry, you guys. It's good for respiratory support. So you can use this topically on your chest. Sometimes when you just need a little bit of respiratory, like during the winter months. It's good to diffuse by the bedside if you have kids that are a little bit sniffly or coughing, things like that. Raven is a really good oil just overall for breathing. Then we have Citrus Fresh. Citrus Fresh is a blend of citrus oils. It's good to put in the diffuser. It gives you this clean scent. It's very refreshing and purifying for the air. And I was reading that it stimulates the creativity part of your brain. So that's good. And also citrus oils, if you don't know, can be very calming, relaxing, decreases cortisol levels, which are increased with stress. Then I have frankincense. Frankincense is my favorite oil. Frankincense I use morning and night. I've replaced my skincare stuff with frankincense, and I just dilute it with a little bit of V6 or coconut oil. V6 is what I use. But it's grounding. It promotes skin health. Frankincense does so much more. You should really Google frankincense, but for me, I use it for my skin. It gives you this smooth appearance of your skin, and it's just a good way to wake up. It's a good meditation oil. I also put it in the diffuser when I'm just, I need that calm in my life. And lavender. What can you not use lavender for? Lavender is just a great oil. We use it for sleep on the bottoms of our feet. We put it in our diffuser. I had a testimony where it's the first oil that really worked for me and was magical for me because it helped with a burn. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that, but lavender we also put in our lemonade with the vodka sometimes. Lavender is good for everything. You can Google lavender if you want to know more about lavender. And I think that was it, Lara, that I was supposed to talk about. And then Lara's going to tell us about essential oil safety, and then she's going to talk about the other 5 oils. And I think we have like 5 minutes left.
Okay.
No, we have 7 minutes. We're good.
Just real quick, just because I'm like so passionate about this, and this kit is, it's a start to a whole new life of knowledge and understanding and changing your life. So in the United States, in the mid to late 70s, they passed an act that said it was a toxin-free chemical act. Well, they passed that act, but there were 80,000 chemicals that were grandfathered into the act. So those were not evaluated. They weren't restricted. So all of those chemicals are still to this day able to be put in all of our products. So that's why I'm so passionate about making sure you know what's in your cabinets, what you're putting on your body, what you're putting on your kids' bodies, what you're putting in your bath. All of that makes such a big difference. And these oils are just a gateway into learning all of that and learning what you need to stay away from and what we need to do to help ourselves, and then to teach our children and our children's children to change it for future generations. Because I just feel like this generation and going forward, we're just all poisoning ourselves with the food and the sprays and everything they're spraying in our air, and we're breathing it in. So this is just a start, a gateway into just a whole new realm. Let's see. So first of all, when you get your starter kit, it's not necessary, but it's advised for you to get one of these books. There's a small pocket version of this book. This is the big desk reference. So if you've been using oils for a little while, I would highly recommend getting that book. And there's also an app you can get, also from Life Science Publishing, that you can look at your oils. And what I say is to maybe pick out an oil or a product each week and kind of research it, use it, see what it does for you personally, maybe even make a little notebook on it, and just do some research, because they're so versatile and there's so many different things that Jeannie and I are just basically touching the surface of what these oils can do for you. And when you really dig down and research, you will be amazed. So lemon comes in the vitality form, or the vitality label in the starter kit. I want you to Google limonene and see what that does, and maybe limonene and tumors, and see what it says about that, because it's pretty amazing. It's very supportive for your circulatory system. So just with your blood and cardiac system, your urinary system, your digestive system, and it's very cleansing. It is photosensitive, so any of the citrus oils have a photosensitivity. You don't want to put them directly on your skin that's going to be exposed to the sun for about a day, or it'll magnify the effects of the ultraviolet lights and could burn your skin. Okay, that's just a brief touch on lemon. Digize, also vitality. I think I got all the vitality labels. Digize is just like it kind of says, digestion. So this is a blend of a bunch of different oils that are very supportive for our digestive systems. Fennel, peppermint, I don't even know what else is in there. So digestion. Also for someone who has candida, or what is yeast. A lot of people have systemic yeast. If you have issues with like any type of fungus, like athlete's foot, toenail stuff, it's likely that you have systemic yeast as well. It thrives in your gut. So this is very beneficial for helping with that. You could use it topically. I would advise to dilute it. I've recently been reading on it, and it's just safe to dilute all of the oils, and it's really a good idea because it makes them last a lot longer for us. So they are more expensive than the ones you buy at Walmart, but there's a reason for that. And if you dilute them, they will last you a long, long time. So, and they're going to work just as well. More frequent applications of less oil is what is advised and what's recommended, because then your body's getting the small amounts of oil either topically, or if you're ingesting it, use you could capsule it in a little vegetable capsule, and I also would advise you to add some carrier oil to the vegetable capsule when you're putting oils in a capsule, because it'll help to keep it down, and also have it with food as well, or else, oil likes to float on top. So does the carrier oil, so that'll start coming back up. So try to eat it with food and use a carrier for sure. Also parasites too. And I also heard, I don't know what retreat it was at, but that this one is good aromatically for brain function and concentration. So although it doesn't smell amazing, it's good for brain health. Copaiba is a wonderful oil. This one's vitality as well. Anytime you think of inflammation, which a lot of people are struggling with autoimmune issues, which causes chronic systemic inflammation.
Lara,
yes.
We have less than a minute. We're going to have to get back on if it cuts us off.
Okay.
Let me try to upgrade. Just keep going.
Okay. So good for a throat gargle. It's good for respiratory, bug bites, any of that stuff that causes inflammation. That copaiba is really good for that. Peppermint vitality, really great for digestion. It's one of the oldest herbs used for digestion. It helps with helping you to feel full. So if you're trying to lose weight, it'd be helpful to add that there to help with a feeling of fullness. It can help with muscles and joints. And I also use it when I have any kind of headache or any muscle pain or anything like that. I use the peppermint. And then we have our Thieves Vitality. So that is our immune boosting blend. That one's a hot oil too, so make sure you're diluting that one really well. This one also now comes in a roller blend, which is diluted 50-50. So I just found that out. So you can use that, roller it on the feet, but this one's a great one. Waiting for someone to do their own little experiment with the Petri dishes, somebody from our group, to evaluate the different Lysol or whatever of all the other cleaners compared to Thieves, because I've seen it in theory